They called Jeremiah Grant half-man like it was a joke, but on that plantation everyone knew. At any moment he could be killed just to entertain someone. It was April 1858 at Harrow Creek. 47 enslaved people walked bent between the white cotton bolls, knowing they would not get out of there even if they ran all the way to the horizon. At 65, Jeremiah looked like a body that had already lived past its limit. Thin skin, marked ribs, stick-like arms, hands trembling even when carrying a bucket of water. When he walked, his shadow on the ground looked like a crooked, weak line. The younger ones whispered that he only stayed alive because he was not even worth the effort of a beating anymore. Thomas Harrow, the master of the plantation, had given him the nickname 20 years earlier, laughing loud enough for everyone to hear, "Half-man." And the nickname became a weapon. "Half-man, if you spill that water, I'll have your hide torn off. Move, half-man, you're slower than a dead man. Half-man ain't good for anything." Jeremiah never responded, never looked up, never showed anything in his face except exhaustion and submission. He'd learned long ago that invisibility was a kind of armor, that being beneath notice was safer than being seen. The overseers rarely bothered with him anymore. Pike, the head overseer with his red beard and constant sneer, would occasionally shove him or spit near his feet, but mostly Jeremiah was left alone to do the light work, mending baskets, feeding chickens, carrying water, fixing fence posts that younger men had cracked in half with their greater strength. What none of them knew, what none of them could possibly imagine, was that Jeremiah Grant carried inside his wasted frame a secret that was older than half the white men on the plantation. A secret that lived in his muscles and tendons, and in the deep places of memory where his father's voice still whispered across 53 years of silence. Solomon Grant had been a tall man with hands that could palm a watermelon, and a way of moving through the world that suggested he was only pretending to be enslaved, that some essential part of him remained sovereign and untouchable. When Jeremiah was 12 years old, still growing into the body that would later be broken down by decades of labor, Solomon taught him something forbidden. They would slip away on Sunday afternoons when the white folks were in town at church, down to the creek that cut through the property like a silver scar. Solomon would pull from inside his shirt a length of braided leather, worked and reworked until it was supple as a snake, with a pouch in the middle and 2 loose ends. "This here's a sling," Solomon said the first time, his voice barely above the creek's murmur. "Same thing David used on Goliath, but that's about all the white man's Bible got right. This ain't no toy. This is how we stay alive when they think they got all the power." Solomon showed him how to choose stones from the creek bed, smooth and round, about the size of a quail egg, how to test the weight, how to feel which ones wanted to fly. Then came the stance, the grip, the rotation. "The sling wasn't thrown," Solomon explained. "It was an extension of your arm, a circle of leather that gathered speed and momentum until the stone became a bullet. Feel the wind," Solomon said, guiding Jeremiah's thin arm through the motion. "Count in your head. 1 rotation to gather, 2 rotations to aim, 3 rotations to release. Let the leather talk to you. It'll tell you when." It took Jeremiah 3 months to hit his first rabbit. The stone caught it mid-hop at 15 yards, and the animal dropped like it had been struck by lightning. Solomon smiled, which was rare, and squeezed his son's shoulder. "You got the gift," he said. "But listen to me close now. Don't never tell nobody about this. Not your friends, not your mama, not a soul. A Negro with a weapon is a dead Negro. But a Negro with a secret weapon, well, that's something else. That's a free man waiting for his moment." For 4 years, Jeremiah practiced in secret. Rabbits, possums, birds in flight. Once he brought down a young deer with a stone to the temple that dropped it mid-stride. He and Solomon ate well those nights, cooking the meat deep in the woods where the smoke wouldn't be seen. Then came the day everything changed. Before we continue this incredible story, don't forget to subscribe and comment which city you're watching from. Let's keep going. 3 enslaved men from a neighboring plantation were caught hunting with slings. It didn't matter that they were trying to feed their children. It didn't matter that the master kept them on half rations. The white men saw weapons in black hands and responded the only way they knew how, with violence that was meant to be seen and remembered. The 3 men were whipped in the public square in town, 30 lashes each, and then hanged from the same oak tree where white children played in the summer.